You're welcome to this video, and in this video we're just going to look at how an engineer, for example maybe a civil engineer, can take advantage of agentic AI to optimize their workflows. And the platform we're going to use to create our agentic AI process and workflow is make.com. So when you sign up for make.com, they'll bring you to this dashboard where you can see everything, and this just shows you your average daily usage. They offer you 1,000 credits for every workflow run that you do. They reset every 30 days. And yeah, I guess we can just get started. So make.com was an automation. It's an automation platform, and recently people are integrating artificial intelligence, large language models, and other breakthrough AI technologies into different spaces, and automation is also one of them. So what makes automation more, what AI adds to automation is it makes it more intelligent, and which can really improve how you do your work. Beyond having to manually do everything and react to everything, you have your agent that's always keeping you a step ahead. So where it starts is from where we're going to begin. I'm just going to show you how a few of these things work, and we're going to try to build an agent that can help us to do takeoffs, material takeoff, which is one of the things an engineer has to do to come up with the materials for a particular project, how much each of them would cost, and so on and so forth. So all that will need kind of like a bill of quantities that we can actually generate using AI, as we will see. So first we'll start with creating our AI agent, which will add several other things too. What makes an AI agent different from normal large language models and other AI innovations is that on top of having the ability to understand natural language, it actually has the ability to connect to different tools that we use in our workflows, and actually perform some tasks for us. So it can understand context, and it can be proactive. It can actually solve solutions. So that's a key difference between AI agents and just normal artificial intelligence LLMs. So we'll start by creating an AI agent here. You select AI agent on this menu on the left, and as you can see, I already have a few agents created. And how you create an agent you click this create agent button, and it loads a bit, and then you have to connect an API, an API of a large language model that you prefer, maybe Grok, maybe ChatGPT, maybe whatever it is. But since Make.com has since made the process easier by integrating a built-in API connection, right? So that you don't have to look for a model to use. They offer us a model which we call Make AI's provider connection, right? So you can name your robot, maybe your engineering assistant, so on and so forth. And here you can choose which model that you want. I think we will choose the medium one because it's more powerful than the small, and might need less. We may not need that much power for a simple task we're going to do, so we may not take the large unless we're dealing with some more complex data. And then a system prompt, obviously in AI processes, you have to, in agentic processes especially, you have to tell the system what exactly it's going to be doing. So for example, they show you how to start. You can say you are an agent who does this, and this. So that gives the AI an understanding on the task it's supposed to do. Instead of generalizing, it will actually focus on a particular task and do it well. If you don't tell it exactly what it is and what it's supposed to be doing, it might not give you the best results. So you need to do that. Tell it what exactly it is and what its purpose is so that it focuses on that. And when it's focused on a particular area, it gives the best results. So, but I already did all these things, so I'm not going to do them now. But you will just have to know that there's the things you have to do to come up with these several robots that we have here. So now, aside from that, we need to now create a scenario in which we might need to use our AI agent. So scenarios are just scenarios are just a series of connections and integrations that create our workflow, right? So you can think of it in simple terms like in this scenario, if you get this email, this should happen. In this scenario, if you get this message, this should happen. In this scenario, if you get this, this should happen, right? So that's what all these are for. All these tools, all these can be connected to an AI agent so that it can perform a task using them, right? So this is the agent that we used, that I created. So we can just look at that for now. It's loading. So I may not build it from scratch. I'm just going to show it kind of like a template. Oh yes, there are also templates. I forgot to mention that. There are some templates that is pre-built workflows that you can use as a starting point and improve from there. If you especially so when you start creating your workflow, usually the first thing that appears is a bubble like this, which just has a plus in the middle, and you have to click in that plus so that you can find the necessary apps, right? They call them the apps in the scenario that you want to connect, so that the AI agent can use them for whatever purpose that you need. So for this workflow, I've used mostly Telegram, and this might be really helpful to you if you're very familiar with Telegram. What I did was to create a Telegram bot. So if you don't know the process of creating a Telegram bot, you simply just type in Telegram. You type in Telegram. In Telegram search, you type the bot further, and what will happen is you'll be introduced to actually a Telegram bot called the bot further, which can be used to create other Telegram bots. And it's a very easy process that you can always read Telegram's documentation on, or watch a YouTube video that I think I'll show you the process of building a Telegram bot. It's taking a while to load. Okay, so yes, you type in the search bar the bot further. It's kind of just a play on the Godfather. And you make sure you get the one that has a star. Okay, this is the channel and this is the bot, right? So when you click open, the bot further application will launch. So we're using Telegram because Telegram is the easiest way to create bots among other applications, and you don't need a lot of coding background. It's very intuitive to create one. So application loads. So if you want to create a bot, you just click here, create bot. Then give your bot a name. Then you give it also a username. The username is what makes it easy for us to search for it. So something like that. It has to end in bot. Then you hit create bot. So once you hit create bot, your bot has been created, and then you're going to copy this token. When you click here, they can reveal it to you, and then you copy it, right? And this is what we're going to use when we're creating our make.com Telegram connection. one we need right now is right here. The one we need right now is watching for updates. Yes. What you need right now is watching for updates. So in case there's any change in Telegram, like a new message, then the workflow should be triggered. So the first module should always be a trigger. And as you can see when you click here, they now ask us to set up the Telegram bot. Yes, they will now ask us to set up the Telegram bot. So what they need now is a webhook, right? A webhook is simply a listener. If I can put it in simple terms, it listens for changes in data of an application, in the data of or the state of an application. So we need this to sense when a new message has been created in Telegram. So if you just click that, it will ask you to choose a Telegram bot you want to use, right? And usually a Telegram bot is created by when we want to click when we want to create a webhook, we'll click add. So that we can create the webhook by adding the other API, the other token that we created, that we got from the bot we created, is what is going to help us to create the webhook. So here you name the webhook, then down here you create a connection by adding that token. When you click add, it will ask you for the token, and then you can save, and your webhook will be created. Right? And so the next thing we also need is a different instance of the Telegram bot, which is a version of the bot that will download the file that we need. Because what we're doing now is we're trying to create a bot that will receive an image file, maybe plans for a new building or a bridge, and it will analyze those plans and send back its analysis, right, according to what you asked it to do. So we need a way to download the file into the workflow, and that's how Telegram, the download the file instance, will help us. So you just do this, you click this plus at the end of this bot to create another bubble, and in that bubble we now add the part of Telegram that downloads the file. So you search for download a file, and you select it, and it would be asking you for the file name. It's loading a bit. Yes, so it knows that this is the bot it's connected to, but it needs the file ID. And how we select a file ID, just click in here of the file we're going to use, and you select from the parameters of the watchbot. As you can see, there's this dialog box that has appeared when you click here. This is how we move data in between apps. There's a lot of data from this Telegram bot, the watch updates, but what we need is simply the file ID. So you can scroll through and look for that file ID, which is going to be an attachment that we add to Telegram, and the file ID will be down here. But in case you don't know what you're doing, there's an option for using AI up here, which you can, next to the star, there's an option for using AI where you can ask it, like, just in case you don't know which part of, just in case you don't know which data you need from the previous node or the previous module, you can say something like, help me get the file ID. And it will load a response. And it will get you the field to the file ID. Though, I don't know if this is the correct ID. No, this is the correct ID. It can also be wrong, so you really have to know what you're doing. Yeah, but sometimes you may not know what you're doing, and it helps you out. So, but since we know what we're doing, we're going to select the file path, right? No, sorry, the file ID as what we will use to download, right? It will bring something like this. You can close, and then you can save, right? So that's what we did for these two up here. Then next, we need an app that can read the contents of the file that we're going to put. So I selected Mindy V2, right? So you just click the plus in the previous node, and as you can see, Mindy V2 is already selected for me here. It's already selected for me here, so I can just sorry about that. Yes, I can just click it. Because it's going to be an image file, we might need an AI model that can read that image data, right? So that's why we're adding this third part. Disappeared. That's why we're adding this third part, DV2. And you click it. So we want the extract document data part of this application. So select that. So the connection this one needs, they need an API. An API is an application programming interface. It's simply how applications communicate with each other. So we need the API key for this MinDV connection. So I already got the API key. And another good thing about this process is that you don't need to be so much of a developer or a software engineer to understand. You can always click these highlighted parts, this hypertext. As you can see, when you read up here, it says for the connection, for more information on how to create a connection, you can see online help. So you can always select online help. They always offer help when you get stuck on a connection. So the online help took us somewhere here. Took us here where they explained to us that we could get the connection by clicking here where you create your own account, and then going to settings and finding the API key. Navigating to settings and finding the API key, right? Then you click generate and copy the key. So we did just that. Come here, you sign in, you go to your settings. Actually, you first select a model that you need. This is the model that we're going to use to process our documents. So I already created one here, which is called Civil Engineering Drawings. It just reads civil engineering drawings and provides useful information on them, depending on what you ask it for. So I had to pass in a practice document to use, and then it was completely set up. So this will be necessary, especially when you need to select the model. In this section here, you need to search for the model. In this second field, model ID, when you type the name of your model, it will find the model ID once you've made the connection. But before that, once you made the connection, but before that you need to make the connection. So you go to the settings tab here on the left, and you go to API keys, and you create your API key by pressing create API key. Then you copy it and paste it. So once you paste it, it will have access to your entire MinDV2 account, and when you search for your model to find it, like now, civil engineering, drawings. And when you search for that, it should bring you a model. And it's searching, and it will find it. And for the file field, because we downloaded the file that was sent to Telegram, it automatically detected that there's a file that has been provided by the Telegram bot that we're going to analyze, right, and break down. Then the next part now would be to connect our agent, which we created earlier at the beginning of the video. Because now what our agent is going to do is it's going to utilize all these tools so that it can perform what it was supposed to do. Another thing I forgot to mention was that if we can go back to our agent, Maybe I can show you the system prompt. I forgot to show you that. Oh, they're asking save changes. I guess I'll show you later. So the system prompt really for our agent is that it analyzes the file provided and offers. I think we'll just go back and see it. So you just click make AI agents, right? And we specifically want the run an agent action, their actions and then their context. So you want the run your agent action. So we want our agent to run when the image file has been analyzed. So what you will do is you come here and you choose your agent. As you can see, I have several agents, and you choose the one that you need. Then you choose the message that the agent is going to work with. So you can do something called mapping. Mapping is where you make sure that one application is going to be receiving data from another application. So you map those two applications together so that they can share data, right? So if I click in here, you will see that it can be mapped to all the applications that came before it, right? So what we really need is maybe the result from the analysis of the file. So we'll click maybe result, and maybe the raw text, or we can just select the entire result, and that's what the agent is going to use to create the final output. Right, so we can save that. And then the last thing is, once it has finished processing, we need to send a message back to Telegram. So then you click the plus here and you add another bubble, and this would be Telegram, part of the Telegram bot, but it sends messages. So you just select send message, and what should the message be exactly? We can map the data from the agent to the Telegram bot. Yes, so what is very important when you're sending your message is the chat ID, right? Because it needs to know the chat in which it's sending the ID, the message to. So you look for chat ID, which is under message, under this message, and then chat, right? Then you just expand chat, and there chat ID will be the first thing down here. So we select that. So that is message chat ID. Then the text of the message should be the output of the AI agent. So the output of the AI agent is usually response, which is here. Sorry, which is here. So select here and select response. There are so many things that come out of an AI agent. As you can see, this whole long list, but what we need is the response part, which is usually raw text. So you should be able to send that message. And another thing I needed to show us was when you open your robot, your agent. Yes, you'll find that this was my system prompt. I told it that you are a civil engineering takeoff bot, and you interpret the user's question and perform a required calculation. If the user sends dimensions, calculates area, volume, length, provide clear steps, and if they ask for material takeoff, estimate quantities logically, and return a structured bill of quantities, and format the output cleanly. So you give the robot particular instructions so that every time you send a file, it doesn't guess what it should do. It just knows. Then there are also other parts. You can add context. Maybe you might add some materials on maybe a format on how the format of how a BOQ should look like, or some more context for material takeoffs. When you click this, it allows you to add files, right, that you'll be able to use. And the tools, we can say, is the scenarios that we've created. So we can add like the collection of applications the AI model will use, the AI agent will use, are its tools to perform its task. So if I just select that, we can select our, trying to look for our agent. Doesn't seem to be appearing here. But we should be able to add it as a tool. Or not. Might not even need to add it as a tool. But there will be some times where you need to add a tool. For example, maybe we can add a tool like an email tool, right? If we want to receive the Telegram message also as an email message, you can add maybe an email tool. So yes, I already have an email tool created here. So it's actually inactive, but it will probably activate when I add it. Right? So now this agent also sends emails of the output. That's what we've done. So we can save that. Yes, agent saved. So if we can go back to our scenario up here, this is the scenario that we've created. So we're going to try to upload a file and see what the agent will do for us. Okay, so the way this agent works is that it will run, it will start working once data arrives to the Telegram trigger. When you see something like this on the first module, it's known as a trigger. It's what starts the entire process of the model. If you click this airplane down here, it can show you the entire flow of the application. Show you how it flows. Not showing. Yes. starts with the Telegram trigger, then the file is downloaded, then the file is analyzed, then the agent does its magic and sends a report back to the Telegram bot. So now we're about to run this, but what we need to do first is yes, you need to locate your bot. So once you create your bot with a username, you can always search for its username using @ and you'll find it anywhere. So this is my bot, and we're going to send an attachment, right? And the attachment is going to be an image that I got from a website called ABC Project Database. It has a lot of different projects, different engineering projects. So I just got an image from what I think was a building plan for a bridge, and I made it to a PDF. So we're going to see how to analyze this, and maybe I can just put a simple caption: analyze this for, and I'll click send. And it might not react immediately because the bot is off, so I'll need to run it. Actually, I was supposed to run it first. I'll tell it to wait for new data. So it's waiting for new data. I guess I can resend this. I can maybe forward it to the bot itself so that it will be received. So once you send it, you can see your workflow working. It goes through the Telegram bot, that file is downloaded, then it's analyzed, then the agent goes through that analyzed data and sends a message. All these green highlighted words just means that the operation ran smoothly. And if it turns red, it means there's an error somewhere. So we've got our Telegram message. We can see it down here. So it's analyzed and it's telling us here is a concise analysis of the provided data for the ACCEL. CEL lanes typical drawing set. So it tells you it was a project was New Mexico. The date was 2018. It was drawn by PRJ designer. Scale. This was the scale of the sheets. What it's missing or what is unclear is that drawing number, revision, then the implications for takeoff. So it says without dimensions, it cannot perform area length calculations yet. Unusual scale suggestions. Recommended next steps should provide. So it gave a whole analysis, right, of the document. So maybe I should first show you what the document looks like. So I can show you what the document looks like. Open it. Let's see how it did the analysis. So you might have your document and you know exactly what it contains and you know exactly what you want to ask your agent. You can ask it and it will give you exactly what you want as per the system prompt, what it was designed to do. Taking a while to load. Yes, so this is the file that we analyzed. It's just a drawing, some plans for a bridge. I think a bridge in New Mexico, somewhere like that. They said there was something wrong with the scale, unusual, I don't know. But what we know is that it analyzed this document and gave us some points. So there are different questions you can ask. Okay, if you provide the dimension data or actual detailed drawings, I can compute areas. So I'm not really an engineering expert, so I don't know what the kind of file it's asking for looks like. But if you give it in, you will definitely get what you wanted. So that's just simply how to use an AI agent for your engineering workflows. Of course, when things get more complex, you can always provide the agent with more context. You can always provide the agent with more context, like I showed you, like adding a few files that can better understand. And yes, so that was creating just a simple tool to help you with your work using make.com and the power of AI to analyze your documents and provide and to do reports. You could even add another integration for like Google Sheets, so that every time you send a file, the Google Sheet is updated, can become your database where you keep all your different